Hey everybody, we have actual Montreal Canadiens news to announce. The Montreal Canadiens have actually signed a hockey player for next season. So if they come back to finish 2019-20 season, he wouldn't be playing. So the Montreal Canadiens have signed a backup goalie, and it looks like they're going to be serious, I think, in this offseason and addressing that problem of the backup goalie. And I guess I should announce who. They've signed from the KHL goaltender Vasili Demchenko. No, me too. I've never heard of him before. I know you're all going, who? No, I never heard of him before either. I'll tell you what I've learned about him and what I figure the move might mean. So if we go to the board, first of all, he signed a one-year contract, two-way, so he gets $700,000 if he makes the team, and he gets $70,000 if he goes down to the AHL. Now, I would have to think here. Now, here's a guy coming over. He must at least feel that he's going to make the team. I don't think he wants to come from Russia to the NHL to make $70,000 in the AHL. So I imagine in his mind, anyways, he wants to make the team. And at least it's going to be good competition. He also gets a $92,500 signing bonus for this contract, so that's always good. Wouldn't it be nice to have a $100,000 signing bonus? He's a 26-year-old, 6'1", 165-pound player. Now, I think the 165-pound thing, that he's got to bulk up a little bit. Even though he's just a goalie, so that doesn't mean he's going to be banging the body, but he's still a little small for, I think he's a little skinny for a 6'1" guy. And the talk I've seen online about it is that he needs to work on that. Last season, he went 9-17-3 with two teams in the KHL. He was traded midway through, I think, the season, with a .277 goals against and a .907 save percentage. And from everything I've heard, this was an off season for him stats-wise. In his career, while his record wins-losses aren't great, his other numbers are good. He went 81, 86, and 25 in 212 games with 14 shutouts, a .237 goals against average, and a .925 save percentage. So those are really good numbers. And he played for a really bad team. Tractor, I don't know, I can't pronounce the rest of it, but the teams he's played for in the KHL have been lower level teams, and apparently he's been one of the bright spots on the team. So this looks good for hopefully being at least bringing competition to the spot. I do expect Montreal will still sign a veteran NHLer, but at least there's competition. And I'll talk about a couple other things about why it might be, like if he makes the team, how it's going to be beneficial to the Canadiens. Okay, so what I could find out about him is apparently he can handle a heavier workload. He has good mobility, covers his angles well, but he needs to bulk up a bit, as I was saying just before. Like the Washington Capitals, Ilya Samsonov, and the New York Rangers, Igor, what's his name, Shestyorkin. Those are good examples of KHL goalies that were performing well in the KHL, coming to the NHL, which is a step up, and you never know how they're going to handle the better competition. But those are two examples of guys that have come here and are starting to do well. Granted, they've spent time in the AHL, which we don't know if Demchenko will or not. And I have a feeling they came over here a little bit younger than him at 26. I don't know their ages, but I do believe Samsonov is younger than 26, from what I remember hearing. And it's low risk. It's low risk. It's a 1 year, two-way, so if he doesn't make the team, he's spending $70,000. If he makes the team, it's the league minimum. That's not going to hurt your cap, even if the cap, which we'll talk about, could go up or down. So this is what I wrote about it now. So he'll create greater competition, I think, behind Price. He's an experienced KHL backup. Yeah, he has been a starter, but last season I believe he was backup. He spent one full season as a backup in the last 1 or 2 years. And he could fill the role for a year or two, allowing Caden Primo to continue developing in the AHL. So to me, it shows Montreal is aware of the need for more goaltending depth and is going to find a solution. They're going to find a solution. I fully expect them to go after. Well, let me get to it right here. I don't want to say it there and then read it. I still feel they will sign another veteran goalie before next training camp starts. This might rule out, to me, Yaroslav Halak, and I'll tell you why. With the uncertainty of the cap either going up or down or staying the same, and if you, I don't know, you guys out there who are watching might not watch the hockey guy, but he did a video where I don't remember what the source was, but there's a good source saying that the cap may go down as far as 40%, as much as 40%. It may be Pierre Maguire, but don't say that's not a good source. It doesn't matter how you feel about Pierre Maguire, I still think that's a good source. So if it goes down 40%, even if it stays the same, say it doesn't move, it's still going to have a huge effect on teams that are right at the cap and are having trouble to get players and all that because they don't have the room, where Montreal is still doing good for that, and thank God for that. Because if that happens, that space that Montreal does have is going to be a huge, huge, I don't say bonus, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. So with that uncertainty of it either moving up, down, or staying the same, it's the importance of the cap space is going to play a huge role, I think, in the next couple of years, till they can get things settled with getting fans back in the stands, and then getting that new contract in the U.S. Until then, they might have a problem with keeping that cap there, and then so the importance of having cap space and a well-managed cap is going to play a huge role, I think, in the next couple of years. And that's where, for everybody who's saying, oh, they should have spent to the cap and they should have spent to the cap, Montreal's been a good manager of the cap. Bergevin has been, and it's going to pay off, I think, in the next couple of years. Okay, so I think an older veteran like Mike Smith or Ryan Miller, I think it was $1.25 million, 1.125, something like that he made last year in Anaheim, and he did an adequate job. Now, Mike Smith, who I think I would like to see Mike Smith over Ryan Miller, he made $2 million with Edmonton this past season, and I think you can probably sign him maybe for a little less than that, especially with the way things are. You might get him at $1 million, a little over $1 million, and I think that's fine. To get a veteran guy like that, maybe you have a guy like Demchenko that could, in case something happens, and maybe Demchenko wins the job. Don't know. Yeah, okay, so it's like a bridge. It's a bridge till Caden Primo is ready. This is the whole point of it. You need a year or two. I'd like to see Primo stay a year or two down in Laval and be ready, fully ready, not be rushed when he gets here. And so that's going to require, I would like to see a decent backup here. We haven't had that really consistent, decent backup in Montreal for a few years, and it's about time we got one. I think Price needs the break from a guy who can come in here and handle that heavier workload. See? Can handle a heavier workload. That's what's been said about him. That's a good thing. That's what we want. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing. I also feel this could mean the end of the road for a goalie like, I wrote it here, I don't have to, Michael McNiven, who was bouncing around the ECHL this season, who I guess many consider him a better goalie than he might be. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I don't know, but I mean, he was bouncing around the ECHL. I don't know if he's going to be an answer to be a backup here, but I think it also could be either him that goes, because he's, I believe, a free agent at starting next season, so in the off season, or Charlie Lindgren. Lindgren, he has 1 year left on the contract, same kind of money as Demchenko, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything to tell me that Charlie Lindgren is the answer. But will he get a shot? I do believe they'll have. I can see them going with Price, Lindgren, Demchenko now, and bringing in a veteran guy and having a bit of a battle for the backup job. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So it's obviously not known how Demchenko will handle this. Not even a hard Russian name to say it. I'm not saying it. How he'll handle the move from the KHL competition to the NHL competition. But from the looks of it, I think I don't know anything about him. None of us really do. But from what I can gather, I think it's a good shot that this kid could actually come in and possibly be a backup to Carey Price, and we might not need to go after or use the services of a veteran goalie. So we'll see how that works out. I thought I'd bring this to you. It's not really something that's not a huge move or anything, but this kid, you never know, could actually be somebody when he gets to camp, and he could have a lights out camp, and we go, wow, great, this is fantastic. We got a backup goalie. We don't know. I've never seen him play. I didn't find any highlights on him. I didn't really look for highlights. I just wanted to find out what was kind of the scouts, whatever I could find out, were saying about him. So that's the best I could do. We finally have some news of some kind of movement. The only thing I don't know is I know that Columbus Blue Jackets signed a player, and they had to either put that on hold and wait till the 2020-2021 season started, or there was news of what's happening with this season before they could actually officially sign the guy. And I don't know if there's a difference because this is an ELC. They signed him to a one-year ELC. I don't know if that makes a difference. So they might have to put this on hold, but obviously the deal's in the works. So there you go. Probably ran on a little too long. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video. While you're on the way down there to do that, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, ring that notifications bell. It's going to get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. Plus, and I'd really like this, comment section is down there. What do you think of this deal? Do you guys know anything about this guy? Any info you might have about Demchenko? How you feel it might affect the Habs' backup position going into next season? Right there in the comment section, and I read all my comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and peace out. See you next video.